1812–1888, New England. The macabre history of families. Historians refused to write wordy tales. Book story format. Genre: historical horror. Macabre history. Style: narrative documentary, fictionalized for storytelling. Tone: dark, immersive, Gothic. Purpose: learn English through story plus history-inspired mystery. Duration: 1+ hour. Candle story title: The Unwritten Lineage. New England's Forgotten Blood Ties. 1812–1888. Brain summary: this chilling tale unearths the secret history of 3 twisted families that once thrived in the shadowy corners of New England between 1812 and 1888. Families so disturbing, so wrapped in secrecy, that mainstream historians buried their existence. Until now, through forgotten journals, buried trial records, and whispered legends, we uncover a web of madness, ritual, and blood that haunted the region's darkest woods and oldest manors. Candle prologue: The Missing Archives. In 1891, a young historian named Elias Thorne found a locked chest in the ruins of an old farmhouse in Vermont. Inside were 3 journals, faded photographs, and legal documents that would change the way we understand New England's past, if they had ever seen the light of day. But Elias vanished before he could publish his findings. This story is told from the fragments he left behind. Ghost Part 1. The Bellamy House, Whispers in the Wallpaper. 1812–1849. Location: Ashcroft Hollow, Massachusetts. The Bellamy family were elite, wealthy shipowners. They built a towering manor that overlooked the Atlantic. But their fortune was rumored to come not from trade, but from bargains made beneath the sea. In 1826, several sailors swore they saw the eldest Bellamy's son, Nathaniel, performing rituals near shipwrecks. Soon after, Bellamy vessels always returned, but missing crewmen. By 1831, the family sealed off the east wing of the manor after several servants went mad. In 1849, the estate caught fire. Only 3 bodies were found, though 6 family members were said to live there. Greater than locals say the Bellamys still walk the shoreline in fog. DNA Part 2. The Harlowe line, a family that fed on itself. 1850–1872. Location: Dyer's Glen, New Hampshire. The Harlowes were reclusive farmers, said to keep to their own blood. They married only cousins, whispered to speak in a strange dialect no outsider understood. In 1857, a minister visiting the Glen found the entire household seated at a table, unmoving, eyes open, mouths full of rotting food. One girl was still alive, repeating the same phrase, "We eat what we remember." The coroner ruled it poisoning. In 1861, the land was resettled. But every new family reported scratching under the floorboards and children's voices in the chimney. No one stayed longer than a season. Crystal Ball Part 3. The Whitmore Experiments, Science, Flesh, and Madness. 1869–1888. Location: Providence, Rhode Island. Dr. Ezra Whitmore was a physician turned scholar of the beyond. Funded by wealthy Boston patrons, he ran an estate clinic on the edge of a mental asylum, but rumors claimed he was using patients as vessels to contact the dead. Whitmore adopted children from orphanages and trained them in what he called psychic surgery. At least 4 vanished. His wife was never seen outside after 1872. In 1888, a group of asylum patients escaped and burned down the estate. Among the ruins, police found stitched dolls made from human hair and bone. A secret basement was sealed off by state order. Whitmore's name was scrubbed from medical records. But in 1901, his journals surfaced in a private collector's vault, then disappeared again. Candle epilogue: The historian who knew too much. Elias Thorne's final entry, dated October 13, 1891, reads: Greater than, some histories are silenced not out of shame, but out of fear. What I've read in these pages must never be spoken aloud. These families aren't gone, they're just waiting. He was never seen again. Some believe Elias became part of the story. Others say the families still linger, hiding in old basements, in cracked mirrors, in the corners of towns where the streetlights always flicker. Speech balloon moral and hidden message. History is written by the survivors. But sometimes, what remains unwritten is far more terrifying. Brain Learn English section post story, optional. Vocabulary: asylum, reclusive, pact, bloodline, rituals, inheritance, haunting, descent, madness. Phrases: keep to their own, walk the shoreline, voices in the chimney, sealed off by state order. Practice questions: what happened at the Bellamy House? Who was Dr. Whitmore, and what did he do? Why did historians refuse to write about these families? Movie camera YouTube video package. Video title: 1812–1888, New England, the macabre history of families. Historians refuse to write wordy tales 1+ hour. Description: step into the forbidden pages of American history. This immersive, spine-chilling tale takes you deep into the shadowy past of New England, where three families held secrets too disturbing for history books. From haunted manors to flesh-bound journals, this 1+ hour English story is perfect for advanced learners who love dark history, horror, and language learning. Books improve your English through gripping historical storytelling. Magnifying glass discover forgotten bloodlines and unspeakable experiments. Skull inspired by real places and Gothic folklore. Headphone best experienced with headphones and low light. Bell subscribe to Wordy Tales for more horrifying histories and powerful English stories. Hashtags. Hashtag macabre history, hashtag learn English, hashtag Gothic tales, hashtag New England horror, hashtag wordy tales, hashtag historical horror, hashtag creepy families, hashtag English through story, hashtag dark history, hashtag Victorian era secrets. Keywords tags. Macabre families, forgotten history of New England, English horror story, learn English through story, Victorian era horror, true dark history, haunting family stories, New England folklore, historical horror story, Elias Thorne mystery, cursed families, wordy tales English, haunted estates USA, English Gothic story, chilling bloodlines. Would you like a scripted narrator version or subtitle-ready transcript for this story?